I'm Ben Sand. I'm the co-CEO of Meta.
We make augmented reality glasses, and the reason we do that is we want to change the way computers work and change the way people experience computing.
We believe that the world needs a big impact right now. We think that computers divide people at the moment, and there's a need and an opportunity to bring people back to face-to-face contact with their families, with each other, by changing the way interfaces work.
And what we want to do is change digital content to be something that supports interactions between people instead of detracts from it.
So what our device allows you to do is it allows you to take things that would normally be physical objects, whether they're decorative things like picture frames or potted plants, or actually functional devices like computers or cell phones, and to have them appear holographically with all the same functionality in front of you just by wearing our glasses. Interface design is the most important characteristic of our product. We care deeply about how easy things are to use and how well they fit with the brain. We base our interface design in neuroscience. We have neuroscientists on the team, and we actually make sure that everything you use is modeled to a part of your brain. Our interfaces are by far the easiest to use and extremely well designed. You know, we have art talent coming from Hollywood. People have worked on Iron Man, building the graphics here. So it's something we care deeply about. So Australia is less willing to engage with high reward, high risk endeavors. And that means that we miss out on some of the opportunities because of that attitude. And so I would love to see that attitude shift a little bit, and I think the best way for that to happen is Australian investors to learn from people who are doing this really well. And I think if we can learn from some of that experience internationally, we'll develop a bit more expertise here, and that will be the right time to start funding Australian startups from Australian investors. Australians typically undersell themselves, and it's partly because we have this tall poppy syndrome and people like to kind of downplay their achievements so they don't get called out for them. And what this means is that when we talk about ourselves, we undervalue what we're doing and the world sees us achieving less than we actually are. So Australians typically speak at around 70% of what they've actually achieved. Some speak less than that. Americans typically speak at around 100 to 120%, and people from Israel speak usually higher than that. And the market is very accustomed to kind of shaving some percentage off the top. I see many Australian companies who have achieved more oftentimes than US companies, who in the eyes of investors have achieved a lot less because of the way these Australian companies talk about themselves. And with a simple change in communication, we can make sure that the reality is what actually ends up in their head and not a fraction of reality, which is what's getting there now. So I've been brought out here as part of the Visiting Entrepreneurs program. And through that, I've met with many local companies and seen tremendous potential. I realized that there was a gold mine of potential companies. These are not, people who might get there someday. These are people who are getting there right now. They have customers, they have sales, they have tremendous skills and fascinating technology. And the way they talk about themselves is if they have, very few of those things. And by simply changing the way we talk about things, we're going to be able to attract major international investment into the local economy. And these companies are going to become international icons. So I see a very small amount of work required here to generate incredible results based on the wonderful things the community's already been doing and just not giving itself credit for.